coming online to peace, coming online to joy, coming online to hope, waking up to our light, waking up to our fullness, waking up to fun. It's so good to be back with you on Tuesday, May the 14th, 2024. It's the only one of these that we're going to get. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Let us remember to breathe. Let us remember to not take things personally. Let us recognize that good things and opportunities are coming our way, and that it would be a great day to be playful. Some of my online friends and family and fans watched me go out and stomp in rain puddles this afternoon for the pure joy of being alive, and it felt wonderful. I don't even have clothes on because I had to switch out of the wet stuff just to eat lunch and come in here and share with you all for a wee bit before I carry on with my loved and lovable day. But I want you to know that it's okay to be playful. I go about life playfully and take things lightly. I can turn any hard day or heavy burden into a fun adventure. Why spend time upset when there's so much fun to be had? I go about life playfully and take things lightly. I can turn any hard day or heavy burden into a fun adventure. Why spend time upset when there's so much fun to be had? The taking things lightly part of this card is so special to me because I was told many years ago to hold the vision of my life, but most importantly, to hold it lightly. And I don't know who needs to hear this today, but maybe it's just for me to hear in my own ears. It's okay to have a vision. It's okay to have a dream. It's okay to have a purpose. It's okay to have goals, but hold them lightly. You don't want your goals and your dreams and your ambitions to become so heavy that they begin to push you under the water. Keep it cute and keep it light. Keep it cute and keep it light. Unique opportunities aligned with my desires present themselves to me. I attract all that I need to make my dreams a reality. Some people don't believe in the law of attraction, but I know that thoughts become things, and the things I think about the most are the things that are attracted to me, positive or negative. And so we choose every day in Love and Action Network for those who assemble globally. Thousands of people monthly tune into this. Dozens of people are reading the newsletter daily. Our love is not falling on the floor, Love and Action Network. It never did, and it never will. Love never falls out the floor. I'm sorry. Well, it can fall out of the floor. You can also have the floor knocked out of it, but, let's not talk about that on this recorded line. Okay? Love will knock the dust. Love will take it to Pound Town. Whatever you think about, that's what will come to you. And if you believe that unique opportunities are aligned with your desire and that they're coming to you to present themselves, that will be true. I attract all that I need to make my dreams a reality. Somebody needs to write that down somewhere on a sticky note or on a napkin. I attract all that I need to make my dreams a reality. Thank you, Angie, for bringing my controls closer. I attract all that I need to make my dreams a reality. We gotta move on, folks. The guidance from the next card is that it's not personal. We teach this here. Nothing in life is personal. Stop taking the things that people say and do to you personally. It's not you. It's a reflection of their insides. When you're working to love yourself, they're going to reflect to you that you're not lovable because they don't truly love themselves. Know today that you're doing the work to be loved and lovable. Therefore, you are loved and lovable because you feel loved and lovable. We'll get there in a second with the chakras. On Sundays, we start with the I am principle. Who are you? Foundational question. Who are you? Who is you? When you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, what do you see? Looking in the reflection in this camera, who is that guy with a crazy beard and wet bandana? So after we recognize who we are, we then move into how we feel. And then a little later, we're going to talk about what we do. But no matter what we do, it ain't personal. People's reactions or opinions of me are really not about me at all. People tend to project their own insecurities or fears onto one another. So when someone speaks unkindly to me, I'll remember they have something going on that has nothing to do with me. Don Miguel Ruiz in the Four Agreements also talks about taking nothing personally. I know it's hard. Some of us think the whole world revolves around us, and that's true because you're in your own me movie, but I promise you, these people are not thinking about you the way that you think they are. They got kids. I promise you, the people with kids, they think about you sometimes, but people with employers they don't enjoy, which is the majority of the population, they ain't thinking about you. They're thinking about those clients or that boss that gets on their nerves and how they gonna make it to payday and things like that. Take it lightly, like the other card said. It ain't personal. People's reactions or opinions of me are really not about me at all. People tend to project their own insecurities or fears onto one another. So when someone speaks unkindly to me, I remember they have something going on that has nothing to do with me. Maybe their mothers and their fathers taught them not to trust anybody who wasn't familiar. So they're just acting weird towards you because they don't trust nobody, including themselves. I guess I should say they don't trust anybody, including themselves, for the grammar police. They don't trust anybody. You don't want a double negative, right? Grammar police. They don't trust anybody, especially themselves. So how could they trust you? We're talking here about moving at the speed of trust in your life. We teach that. You should always move at the speed of trust. But how you going to move if you don't trust nobody? I feel like I'm blowing out one of the recordings. How you going to move forward if you're not trusting anybody, including yourself? But we don't light you up in here in Love and Action Network. We do light you up in here, but we don't simply light you up in here. It's spicy and sassy here. I promise y'all songs, smiles, support, and shenanigans. I deliver smiles, songs, support, and shenanigans. And we light people up in here. But we don't tell you about who you are or step on your toes without giving you a workable solution. I would never tell you that that your slip was showing and not help you hide it, girl. I would never see you walking and not give you a ride, especially if I have one to give. So I never leave people without the medicine. Some people only come into these live streams in the first few minutes and they hear me telling the truth and speaking truth to the power of our hearts and speaking truth about the things that we do to ourselves that cause us to suffer. But never is a strong word to use, but I rarely leave you without a solution or some kind of medicine. Think about it. Those of you who've been with me for 30, 60, 90 days in this work, I don't ever just say like, look at you, and then just leave you there. That would not be fair. When I know that you're loved and lovable and worthy of all of the good that you desire. Say that to yourself today. I'm worthy of all the good that I desire. I'm worthy of all the good I desire. I'm worthy of all the good I desire. And that includes having spiritual solutions to your problems. And I promise you, as Wayne Dyer used to teach us when he was living, there's a spiritual solution to every problem you got. I'm not saying we got all the answers. I'm not saying I got $1 million to give you. But there's a spiritual solution to every problem. I believe that and teach that. And even if you don't believe in spiritual matters, there are matters of the heart, and more importantly, matters of the mind to tend to. You want to make sure that the garden of your mind is weed-free, so beautiful fruit can grow. I gotta go take a shower soon, so I'm gonna give you the medicine from the cards. It's telling us to breathe. Would you do that with me today? I'm sitting in my home studio, furnished by Angie & Co. Angie & Co. Angie & Co. Write it down with the upside down A. Angie & Co. I got it on the recording. It'll be in the podcast. You better get to it before they do. Breathe. It's easy for me to return to the present moment simply by breathing. If I'm feeling anxious or worried, I close my eyes and breathe in deeply as I picture myself filling up with white light. Then exhale and envision stress and tension leaving my body. In this moment, I am free to gently stretch and open my eyes, feeling refreshed. Everybody just take a deep breath in. Sometimes that's all you need. Let's talk about our chakra of the day, shall we? Every Tuesday, we arrive back into solar plexus day. Once again, starting on Sunday in our root chakra, I am capable, I'm confident, I'm loved and lovable. Moving up into Monday, in our sacral chakra, I feel loved and lovable. I feel cherished, I feel valued, I feel honored. I feel at peace. I feel wonderful. But you gotta, be honest about how you feel. If you're feeling crummy, tell somebody I'm feeling crummy. And then tell them what you need, and then you begin to move through your feelings. We teach this. I did this yesterday, and I do it every week, so I'm going to leave it alone today because I can really go off into the bushes talking about feelings. As a professionally trained actor, and as a theater kid, and as a whiny bitch, I could teach a masterclass on feelings. As a formerly suicidally ideated person and a experiencer of abuse. Never that V word, child, that rhymes with victim. I'm never a victim. But I've experienced some things that cause me to feel. And knowing how I feel allows me to tap into what I need. Knowing what I feel allows me to get clear about expressing my needs. I cannot stay there, y'all. That was yesterday. Listen to the podcast on Spotify and check us out on YouTube and Substack if you want to catch that from yesterday. I talk whenever I teach about feelings every day because I got tons of them, like I showed you and told you. But getting clear about your feelings and not lying about them to yourself or to other people will allow you to begin to have conversations with those that love you around what you need. And once you can express what you need, people can start to help you. Once you start to expose yourself on camera in life and start showing people your house, they'll send you curtains and shit. My live streams are an expression of me expressing my needs. People say I trauma dump. People say that I want to be seen. People say I want attention. I think I'm just showing you my needs. I think I'm just showing you my heart, showing you my inner wisdom and guidance. We're all walking each other home, right? So don't be afraid this week of your feelings or your needs, because that's going to allow you to put, wait for it, your love in action, your self-love in action, your love of the community in action, your love of life in action. And love in action's all around our solar plexus day, where our affirmation is I do. And drop in the chat if you like what you do, and I'll read them off for the archive and the podcast and the television show. And it's been a while, y'all, since I've been actually able to sit down comfortably in a studio, well lit, even with no clothes on, and do my thing. I'm so grateful that we do love here and that we do put love in action. And special shout out to my fan club, because people didn't think I deserved a fan club. You think everybody in your fan club. They really didn't think I deserved a fan club. I'm sitting at a computer desk, wood finish, little purse hook, little headphone hook, because people put love in action. They do. I do the work of love. I do support Dr. Flo. I do see it for him. I do believe in him. I do want him to have a smart TV. I will not stop talking for the next year about this smart TV. I could cry about the smart TV. This collective work and responsibility from our 365 days of Kwanzaa, put forth by Poppy Water and the House of Mommy Water, they want us to focus on Tuesdays around collective work and responsibility. Collective work and responsibility says, Dr. Flo, I got a TV, Dr. Flo, you deserve. And I will collectively work and find myself to be responsible for making sure that you have that happiness, not because you ask for it, but because I know that you deserve. Collective work and responsibility. Getting up at 6 a.m. in the morning and working the cell phone and things to gather ducats to love on a guy like me. Saying I'm able to respond to the needs of this guy called Flo. I may not have all the money in the world and I got kids of my own and stuff, but I want to make sure that this guy's okay and that he should rejoice with his Judge Judy like I would. Pushing into that confidence every Tuesday here. Pushing into the ability to perceive control. Recognizing that while we don't have anything in control, I can control me. People sending me TVs because they learn how to control themselves. They're not cursing people out on their jobs no more. They ain't acting emotionally unstable at the workplace. They ain't going off on their kids as much as they used to with receipts, because they have a perception of control and they know that their personal control is anchored in being loved and lovable. We break chains in here. I ask some of my clients all the time, are you yelling at your kid as much as you used to before meeting me? No, Dr. Flo, I don't yell at my kid as much as I used to. Oh! Breaking generational curses. Having a perception of control over your life. I am the master of my fate. I'm the captain of my soul. I'm not going to hit my child anymore. I'm not going to bully my child anymore. I'm not going to raise my voice at my child anymore. I'm in control. Get into it. Because I'm well in my energy. I have an energetic wellness about me. Dr. Flo told me time and time again that I was loved and lovable, and I believe it. And when I don't believe it, I can call on Cheez-Its, 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 and not curse this bitch out at my job. We break chains here. If you're cursing out somebody in your life, 1% less because you're in these rooms. To God be the glory. Whoever y'all want to pray to today. I'm sorry. I do appreciate my community and the love in my community. I do appreciate the God in me. Yes, StarlightMysticBotanica.com. I do express my feelings clearly. That's right. I see you doing it. I booty clap and clap everything else for you. Because all that you spoke is true. We feel the appreciation. We see and feel and see. I'm so overwhelmed by the manifestation of God in you. You send us money. If that ain't God in America, I don't know what is. So I appreciate you being the hands and feet and spirit of God. Not because you give me money, but because you are generous and compassionate in your energy. That precedes the giving of the money and the donations. Your energetic wellness is God. And then it turns into cash apps. And you came in here many months ago. I didn't know you from a can of paint. You're somebody that Poppy Water went to high school with, even though I can't tell whether y'all were friends in high school or not. I can't never get a real story there about whether they really fucked with each other in high school, if they were just like, hey girl, hey. But you came in here wanting to express your energetic wellness around loving yourself. And part of loving yourself is expressing your feelings. And you can also check that one off today. I do express my feelings clearly because that is a reflection of your inner love work that's increased as I've seen you. We can be happy and grateful that you love yourself today more than you did when we met. And that I love myself more than I did when we met. We can be grateful for that shit. Ah! Thank you. Starlight. Woo! I could wipe my butt with the tissue Angie sent me. There's a box of tissue. 1 second. My God, on today, we can be grateful. We can be grateful that we love ourselves more today than we did when we met in November. Thank you, Angie. You were loved and lovable. We can be grateful that we love ourselves over hundreds of miles more today than we used to. Oh, we can be grateful. I put them on the desk. We can be grateful. I do the work of being grateful. I do the work of being grateful. I do. I do express my feelings as well. People get very uncomfortable when a black man cries on camera. I do the work of being confident with my emotions. I do the work of loving myself as I am. Understanding that there are thousands, if not millions, of ways to be a human. Billions of ways to be a unique human. Let us rejoice. And let us lean today out of being pessimistic about our lives. Let us lean today out of being insecure about ourselves. Let us lean today out of being in a scarcity mindset, being afraid that our needs won't be met. I tell my people that we have 100% success rate on living. Is there anybody right here in the room that is not successful at living right now? Is there anybody failing at breathing and watching me on your phones? You survived every day up until now. You need not be insecure. Continue to grow, elevate, and build your life. I'm going to run over time today, but I do want to talk while I'm here about building your life, about the 3 principles of flow. Dr. Flow's 3 principles. We've already talked about one earlier. The number 1 principle of Dr. Flow is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're always going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your life, no matter what, no matter who. There's no energy on earth or no person, place, or event that can change how truly loved and lovable you are. And the biggest lie they ever talked us out of in our childhood and earlier development was that we were not loved and lovable. It's kind of it's like the mother of all fuck-ups. The fact that the adults in our lives did not remind us. They reminded us of a lot, but they didn't quite get it into us that we are loved and lovable no matter what. So here I am to reparent you, to tell you that that's true. It's always been true, and it's always going to be true. My second principle that I teach these days is that you are imperfectly perfect, whole, and complete exactly as you are right now. And you have everything in your hands right now to manifest the miracle of your dreams. And people call bullshit on this one and start throwing tomatoes and leave. Because you mean like they are attached to mooing and they're attached to complaining about what's not working. All you motherfathers have smartphones, so you're all without excuse. If you die without manifesting your dream, it will always be on you. Because you got a smartphone and the bill is paid. Or the bill ain't paid and you're on somebody's Wi-Fi skimming. I've been there too. You Wi-Fi only cell phone people. I ain't scared of you. And I ain't better than you. I've been on Wi-Fi only cell phone plan. Got to go back to the house first. Connect back to the mothership. It's fine. That's your tool to manifest your miracle. So I'll say it one more time in case I stepped on your toes. You're imperfectly perfect, whole, and complete exactly as you are right now. You have everything in your hands right now to make your miracle come true for you. Without intervention from anybody else or, anything. It's on you, homie. My third principle that I teach, and there's only 3, but I know they're all kind of meaty, is that you got to see it for yourself. You got to be full of yourself. You got to see it for yourself. The vision, the dream, the purpose, the promise, the money. I'm stepping into this myself. You got to see it for yourself. And you must be full of yourself. You cannot be full of anyone else because they're already on their own assignment. You must be full of yourself, whatever that means for you. Now, here I teach 6 areas of self-care. I cannot get into it today because we're already at time and I'm going to blow it. But there are 6 areas in your life where you can cultivate self-care. That will allow you to be full of yourself. If you take care of these 6 areas of self-care, you'll be full of yourself, and then you'll be able to give people, as Angie does to me, from your overflow. You'll be able to give to people from your overflow. Or just give people, loved and lovable. But you got to see it for yourself. You got to be number one in your own fan club line. Angie says she's my number one fan. I think she's like 1.5, 1.2, 1B, 1C. Because I'm 1A. Nobody loves Dr. Flo more than Dr. Flo. Nobody thinks that Dr. Flo is a sexier motherfucker than Dr. Flo. Nobody thinks that they can sing their ass off. Hallelujah. More than Dr. Flo. It's important because the world is not going to instill this in you. Your family and your friends are not going to put this in you. The internet is not going to put this in you. You have to be number one in your own line. The apple of your own eye. The number one believer in you. That's what gets you out of bed in the morning. Believing in you. Sure, your friends can call you and say, girl, how's your week going? I was late to work 3 times this week. People who see it for themselves arrive on time. They got something to say and do. Confident people. Optimistic people. Whole people. Accepting people. Calm people. But like I just said earlier, in Dr. Flo principle number 3, and there's only 3, I try to deal in the 3s like the other cults. Let me stop. I don't want to get canceled today again. But the last one says you got to see it for yourself. You got to see that confidence. You got to see that optimism. You got to see your wholeness before it arrives. Everything starts in the mind, including your bad days. All of your bad days, where do they start? Start accepting yourself and start accepting the calm in your life. And you'll find there's no more, not no more, but there'll just be less inner and outer chaos because you are accepting calm. I got to move on because I'm in partnership and I have collective work and responsibility here by picking up a handsome gentleman named Papi Wata from work. So let's keep moving forward. This week is week 20 for everybody. Okay, is it week 20 of the year for everybody? I almost said in Love and Action Network, but it is week 20 for all of us. And here we've decided that the theme is all about guidance. We draw from the well of Melody Beatty and Conscious Contact over 52 weeks. Today is day 3 of the week, and so I'll read that and we'll see what the Spirit wants to reveal. I'm going to change all of the God words for higher power. Everybody doesn't believe in God. I don't always believe in God. That's like an open secret here that we talk about. I don't always believe in God. And if that makes you feel like a lightning bolt is going to hit me or that I'm going to be burning in some hell or some shit, then just step 6 feet that way. That's where you should have been anyway. If you think that a lightning bolt is going to hit me because I said that I believe in God sometimes, if you think a lightning bolt is going to hit me, step 6 feet that way, that way, that way, or that way. You should have been that close anyway. You're too close if a lightning bolt can touch me and it can hit you. You standing too close. We just survived coronavirus, girl. Coronavirus! You standing too close. If you think that the devil whose head you're standing on, who's under your feet, the devil is under my feet. If you think that he's coming to get me, you should definitely step 6 feet back. You've been too close. But I digress. The author says on day 3, I'll admit it. I do forget to ask for guidance until I've worn myself out, or I take action before I seek guidance. And when I find myself in the midst of a mess, asking for guidance doesn't occur to me. We all do this, and it's understandable. Considering that to survive, we may have had to figure out on our own because we could not depend on others. There have been times when I felt that guidance has gotten me into a mess. Other times I feel that self-will has. When my son died, I was so angry at higher power that I didn't want to ask for guidance. Not only did I not want the problem, I didn't want guidance to get through it. Ooh, spicy. Not only did I not want the problem, I didn't want guidance to get through this. We about to talk about Tara and me again. This petri dish of a friendship that's strewn across the internet by one of the most private people that you ever did see, and me, the opposite. But we're going to talk about that line right there in a second. Not only did I not want the problem, I didn't want the guidance getting through it. It's always appropriate to ask higher power what to do next. Whether we're in the midst of a mess or headed towards one, whether we feel like we've created the mess or the problem is too petty to solve, it's wise to ask higher power for guidance when we're all alone, with no help, and feel abandoned by higher power too. The challenge is that for me, the hardest thing about guidance is that no matter how many times I've asked for guidance and received it, I'm always afraid it won't be there for me in the future. We need to remember we're never alone. My God, on today. I don't have long to talk about this. I'm 6 minutes over my slot, and I got about 8 minutes till I got to get in the truck without washing my armpits to go and get my partner who loves me, including my sweaty pits. But let me tell y'all something about this lesson today. Not only did I not want the problem, I didn't want guidance to get through it. There are people like Tara and beyond in my life who've been trying to help me for years. But let me tell you something about a man's ego. Let me tell you something about a human's ego. It ain't just men. Our best thinking got us into the situations we're in, and we still think that we know better. And even when our friends say, yo, you need a care infrastructure. Yeah, you need to wake up a little. Have you tried the coffee? Coffee makes me nervous, Tara. I could never do coffee. You know how this whole day is happening, including me playing in the rain on camera? Coffee. I didn't want the problem of being fatigued and tired all the time. But I also didn't want Tara's guidance of saying, had you tried the coffee? And she tried to get me on coffee for years. She sent me some for Christmas, and I finally started drinking it, and I've never seen God clearer. Thank you, Sky Daddy. Thank you, Tara, for being the hands and feet and thumbs and cash apps of Sky Daddy. So that first line, Tara and I, she's been trying to give me advice. I've been trying to give her advice as well. People want to hear you. People want to hear you. Your words matter. You are a force. You are powerful. You're growing in your energy. You're growing in your magic. You're fine-tuning you, and it's great. Mommydom looks great on you. Challenge accepted. There's never been a challenge that this lady could not meet. There's never been a problem or a project she couldn't solve or manage. She's guided. First day, baby by myself, guided. For me, the hardest thing about guidance is that no matter how many times I've asked for guidance and received it, I'm always afraid it won't be there for me in the future. We need to remember that we're never alone. This ministry work that I do as I head towards the truck is all about reminding the 800,000+ people every year. People who think they're alone today. So they're going to unalive themselves Or even worse, be like I felt last year, a dead man walking. Sure, I'm awake in the world. Sure, I'm breathing, but I'm dead inside. There's so many people out there, y'all, family and friends, who feel dead inside. They feel like dead people walking. They're in a zombie hypnotic rhythm of negative vibration. I charge you today. I call you to action to tell someone that's not me out of the blue that they are loved and lovable. You could break them out of their hypnosis of pain. You could set them free. I know we haven't talked in years. I know we haven't talked in months. I know you may think I'm mad at you, but you are loved and lovable. And I don't care what you're going through. You need to know that today. And there's so many people who are masking. We say it's Halloween every day in Love and Action Network. There are people who are masking their private pain, crying in the shower and then sucking it up later. I'm one of the anointed ones and gifted ones and free ones that can cry in public like the town crier saying, ceasefire now. You're loved and lovable. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer. I didn't have to suffer. People did that to me. Love did not do that to me. So I come out here for the people who are trapped inside. 800,000 people who are afraid to tell their family and friends that they went to crisis counseling last week. I told everybody that I could. I'm talking to you and I'm in crisis counseling. This is hard for me. Some days I feel in over my head. Some days I feel inadequate. Some days I feel like my best days in life have already been lived. Then I'm reminded that I'm never alone. And that I too am loved and lovable. Then I saddle up all day through the events at lovedandlovable.org with our community here, small and mighty. And I'm reminded that there's an upward spiral that I can stay on instead of spiraling down. If you're more interested today in spiraling upward than down, live chat us on the site. If you're interested in crying, there are people who didn't cry for years that I cry with all the time. If you're interested in crying and expressing your emotional needs, if you're interested in being seen, heard, and validated, and I'm borrowing from Tara's language, but she didn't make it. If you're interested in having the entanglements removed from your path and your life and your energy, there's a handful of people with names who want to help to set you free. You're going to have to do the heavy lifting, but we will support you every step of the way. I'm live online from like 8 in the morning to about 8 in the evening. Little Miss Duffet on her Muffet, reminding your ass that you are loved and lovable by yourself and by those who treasure you. And if you've got a different kind of vibration in your ear, it could get really, really weird. But we maintain honest, open, willing, and available. We encourage, we equip, and we empower here with the living of our lives. If that's something you're into, lovedandlovable.org. You can text me 404-585-1278. That's 404-585-1278. At Andre in the Flow, which is an affirmation on all platforms. But the universe wants to hug you. I gotta go. But the universe wants to hug you. Some of y'all are in Germany and Japan and Minnesota and Philadelphia and all kinds of crazy places. I can't hug you there. But the universe and love wants to hug you. And I pray that today that you do the work of allowing that to happen. I love you so much. Am I back tomorrow? Yes. Tara's on maternity leave in mommydom. So I'll be back tomorrow with the heart chakra, talking about the ways in which we love ourselves and one another. Stay in your joy, stay in your magic, stay in your power, stay loved and lovable. I'm Dr. Flo. I'm loved and lovable, and so are you.